Today, we're talking about workflows for small or medium creative companies. I've seen quite a few requests about um, putting together a workflow to capture how companies do business today, especially if they're a smaller or medium company. Companies are looking for more efficient ways to track progress from cradle to grave of a project. Some companies are looking for an alternative CRM, particularly with pricing being a major factor. People looking for an all-in-one platform to manage both CRM, project requests, project progress, and sharing that with the customer. Ticket requests as well. Any bug ticket fixes, any website fixes, any additional requests. Something I've also seen is an external form that could be shared or hosted on a website where customers could fill out the form and it would automatically populate a new project or a new CRM sales lead within the business. Those type of requests, I've seen quite a few of them coming through. So I put together this video just to share my thoughts on the process. The first stage would be to look or to document the workflow of that specific business. So I've got an example here just from the website markup.io, 8 stages of a creative workflow management. And this goes through the project brief, the first draft, revisions and feedback, feedback implementation, through to the final draft, project launch, performance analysis, and then through to project completion. Your workflow may vary or may mimic this very closely. It's key to capture your specific workflow. Some organizations look to capture the invoicing aspect because some companies like to get paid. Other companies like to include notification for key stakeholders so that the owner of the company knows or is aware of new business coming in. Some organizations want the project manager to be involved or to be notified whether the project manager is within the business or outside the business. Um, Different stakeholders within that organization need to know and need to be automatically assigned different tasks. Some tools as well give you the opportunity to make some items private and others public. So whether that's public on the World Wide Web via a link or public just within your organization, that provides the flexibility and gives you the opportunity to share some of these dashboards with your customers so everyone can foster that deeper collaboration by working off the same sheet, while still reserving that opportunity to create things like a sales funnel and keep that private. That way, you retain any business knowledge within the organization and not necessarily share that with the customers. So that would be the first step: is having a conversation with a consultant, with a project manager, or with someone that can support you with creating a workflow. Uh, Writing down what you understand your workflow to be, making suggestions of ways that you could optimize that implementation, capturing any automations that would be necessary, any notifications, any potential integrations with any other tools that you use today and that you would like to continue using. Um, in terms of existing tools and software, any data that you'd be looking to migrate would also be captured at this point, though not intended to be used as part of the workflow going forward. Any data migration into the day one version of the tool that you'll be using would be best captured as part of the process, just so whoever's making that migration for you is aware that some data needs to move. So there are quite a few all-in-one project management tools or management tools in general. I'll talk about a few of them today in terms of these workflow managements. The first one we'll look at is Asana. So with Asana, you get the option for three basic packages. You've got basic, premium, and the business, starting with the basic at free, premium at 10.99 US, and the business at 24.99 US. So depending on your workflow, which is why it's important to get the workflow done, that will determine what functionality you require here. And if your workflow is such that you want to live in that free space, then that provides you with that free access pretty much forever, as it's currently being promised by Asana. However, if you require timeline functionality, then that puts you into the next bracket as well. And the importance of getting that workflow created at the start is you may start off in that free space for now, but then you've got ambitions of expanding way into the future and including timelines and workflow builders, for example, in which case you may want to select a tool which allows you to be very free now and save all that money up front. But when your team starts to grow or you've got bigger customers and you're looking to deliver even more value, then you can naturally progress within the same tool without having to migrate data and have to relearn a new tool over again. So from that standpoint, you could look at Asana as one of the options potentially, depending on your workflow. I would always recommend you get that workflow documented, sense checked, get some recommendations in and incorporate any that makes sense for your business. Another option is Basecamp. With this one, it's just a single price, $11 a month per user right now. It could change. And that gives you all the functionality. So in terms of choosing packages, it's effectively one package for everything, right? So it's a case of looking at your workflow and trying to see if Basecamp is right for your business. Another very popular one as well is ClickUp, has quite a few subscription packages, free 5 US, 12 US, and $19 for the Business Plus service. There is the enterprise version, and that would need specific contact to ClickUp to negotiate what that fee would be. So very similar. Once that workflow is documented, then you can identify the features you require today as a growing business. And then in terms of the height of your ambition, where would you want to be? And does this tool satisfy that? Another good one is Trello, more of a Kanban board. But when you integrate optimizations to your workflow, a single board could provide you potentially all you want to see. There is a free version as well as the enterprise version at 1750 US. Different functionalities. So depending on what you're looking to achieve as far as automations, as far as integrations, additional packages, you could then review and see if Trello is the right tool for you. And last but not the least, we have Monday.com. So this is picking up in terms of popularity, and we have different price plans. So I'm um, browsing this site from the UK, so the prices are in GBP. The prices may vary where you are, so please do check the local prices for your country. There is an individual free plan, free forever. There's a basic, standard, pro, enterprise plan. So depending on what you intend to do with Monday.com, that would determine what package you select. So like we discussed originally, once we flesh out the workflow at the start, then we could determine for you what package you choose. You could always start with individual or the basic or the standard and then progress in terms of just upgrading as you go along. And as well, there is that number of seats in terms of your team size. If it's a really small team, 3 seats, then you can potentially use this. And not to forget as well that you have the option of adding clients as view only, in which case they would view the board. As you can see with the basic plan, you've got unlimited free viewers. So you can have more clients viewing boards without having to pay for physical seats for them. And you can change the number of seats you have available, whether that's 10, if you've got a slightly larger team, 40 seats, and then look at the pricing there. And if you're looking for an enterprise arrangement, then that would require contacting Monday.com directly. So one key feature that we could look at as well is private boards. So if you look at the individual packages, if you're looking to have, for example, private boards, private documents within your Monday.com instance, then that gravitates you towards that Pro package just in terms of the inclusion of private boards. So that's why looking at the workflow from the start does help and could also help you in terms of optimizing your cost. Once the workflow is created, then you can look through the various packages and find out the one that works for you. And then from a cost optimization standpoint, look at what best suits the budget today and what would still be a viable tool when you start to grow and expand in the future. That was just a summary from me. Feel free to reach out if you require any more information or help with setting up your workflow, any of these tools we've just discussed today. Thank you and speak soon. Bye.